Bazinga! 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 Bazinga!
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is TJ Shaner. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I'm 22 years old, and I am a spinal bifida survivor. So I want to tell you guys my story. So I was born on October 16th, 1997 at 7:07 p.m. I was born, and the doctors saw something wrong on my lower back, and it was like a bubble, so they had to take me away. My parents couldn't see me for a few days because of the bubble on my back, so they had to research what was going on my back. And then a few days later, they came back, and this doctor named Dr. Kennedy, she was a doctor before she retired. She told my parents a few days after. They said, hey, your son has spinal bifida. It's called hygioma, and it is on your lower back. That the nerves are all wrapped up. That's what the bubble was. So they were like, we had to give him surgery. So they put me in surgery when I was a baby. And I had to get all the nerves all untangled to be fixed and all that. And they had to stitch it up, going through the fatty tissues of my lower back. And I was probably now about 4 months now coming down the road, and they said, now your son is not going to be able to walk. He is going to be in a wheelchair, and he's not going to be able to walk. And so when Dr. Kennedy came into the room, she was like, this is not right. He should be able to walk. So she came to my parents and said, hey, we're gonna give your son a chance to walk. So she did this method of getting all the muscles attached together. And so she did all the surgeries for years on me. And I just, had a fight, And so I got that done. And about when I was young, probably, and now 6 years old, I even had to go to physical therapy and going to the doctors for my bladder and my bowels, because with people with spinal bifida, they're not knowing of what the bladder and bowels feels like because they lost the nerves from it. So they need to go to the doctors for that, and they've been on antibiotics for way too long. And when I was born, I was on drugs for like pain meds from the back surgery, the antibiotics from the incision. I had to get. So I've been on years of surgeries. And when I was little, my grandmother told me she talked to the manager at the place at the hospital, and the babies were all crying for help, and none of the nurses would have helped my grandmother. So my grandmother, or not my grandmother, like the other nurses, kind of helped the babies out. So my grandmother helped the nurses, yell at them saying, hey, get these kids some help. So that happened. But going back to the story now, that about when I was oh God, 12 years old, and I was in probably 5th grade now. I had to go back in for surgery because the back of my nerves were all going back at it, or tangling up again with my nerves were all going. My spine was going down, like hunched back down. And so I had to get surgery. So I was out of school for 2 to 3 months just from recovering, going through physical therapy, getting all my stuff back together. So I was homeschooled for a little bit just so I can get all the schoolwork going perfectly good. And so then and then a few years later, like 3 or 4 years later, I was in end of 8th grade. I had to go back to surgery because once again the nerves were all just tangled up, and I just couldn't have the right ways. And then a doctor came in and from China, and he was like a study group thingy there was a thing called a scratching method. So I got that surgery done, and there was a lot of kids with spina bifida that had it, and there was like probably total of 4 to 6 kids with spinal bifida, and they were just doing a group. I was the only one, top first of the kids, that could have walked because some of the kids had a thing called a drop foot. So what it is when the foot just drags, and it's called a drop foot. And I was the only one that could have walked, and all the other kids had drop foots, and I was the only one that could have walked with the scratching method. They had the drop foot with the scratching method. So I had that done, and then about the end of my senior year, I had to get back into the surgery because beginning of senior year, I've been tripping a lot. I'm saying a lot, and I knew something wasn't right. Why am I tripping all of a sudden? And there was nothing there, so I kept tripping. And about first day of school, I went down. I fell so hard in the hallways, and good thing there was nobody in the hallways just then. And so I went to the office and I told them, because they know who I am, and I said, hey, I'm having issues walking right now because of my nerves. Is there any way I can get a wheelchair, just so I can get to class? They said, of course. So about 3 weeks later of senior year, the doctor calls and says, hey, there's an opening spot on this day. I think it was October 22nd of 2015, and there is a spot for him. If he wants to come down to get the surgery, he can. And my mom goes, let's do it. Or me and my mom was like, let's do it. So I got the surgery done. I was in the hospital for a couple weeks, and then I had some surgeries that didn't go so well. Like the nerves had like holes in the back fluid, so my back started swelling up. I'll show you guys the picture right now. So I'll show you. So those were the photos are on my back, and I had to get a lot of surgery from that. And my favorite thing, hobbies, are taking a lot of cool pictures of nature, things like that. Dancing is my favorite. Like, I love to dance. Um, And so I had a lot of surgery when I was a kid, and go from there, you know, like I have like t-shirts of my spinal bifida survivor shirts. I'll put the link down for that too if you guys want a spinal bifida awareness shirt. Um, um, I had just love what I do, and to make other people happy. You know, being with my family is my favorite things, because why not? It's your family. Um, but everything else, another thing is about spinal bifida too. When I had surgery done, um, because people with spinal bifida, that lost nerves in your back, and stuff like that, about losing your bowels or your bladder with kids with spinal bifida again. I used to wear diapers a lot, and until I was about 17 years old, I stopped wearing them, and I was like, hey, I'm a grown up now. I have to start learning. So I told my parents, hey, I want to go to the store and get some male guards and go from there. And I've been going awesome with it. But just been going to the doctors all my life is stressful, but it is what it is with your special needs. Another thing is, if you are having, if you're a mother out there or a father out there or some type of family members out there that have those kids that have spinal bifida, spinal bifida, you, my opinion is, cherish that person, because in life they're gonna say, wow, I hate this, I hate this. But just know that there's a lot of kids out there and adults that are out there with spinal bifida, like me. And again, there is kids that and adults can't walk. There's kids in walkers, wheelchair, braces on their legs, that are with spinal bifida. Some people are not have spinal bifida, but if you see somebody that has things on their arms for walkers or in a wheelchair, help them out, because you don't know what we go through or what they go through in life. So my opinion is, just help each other out. That's my opinion. Help each other, because that is the key to success of their happiness. Because in life, there is, with us, we are fighting for our battles. We are a fighter. If you have cancer or if you have autism, you guys know we are always a fighter. But out there, people don't know what spinal bifida is out there. So I'm shooting this message saying, let's fight. Let's go for it, and go from there. And I will show you guys more pictures of my life and how it is. But so I hope you guys enjoyed this small or this video of my life of spinal bifida, because I am a survivor. If you guys have any questions, make sure you comment down below. I would love to read you guys' comments. And if you guys have any questions or concerns, you guys can private message me on my social medias right down below. And I will see you guys next time. And make sure you guys hit that subscribe button right down below. Again, like that video, and I will see all of you guys next time. Bye, everybody.